I should start each broadcast by putting on my apron like Mr. Rogers. It's a beautiful day in the studio. And won't you be mine? Won't you be my painting? Hello, Heather. I'm sorry to hear anybody heard me singing that. All right, this is Daily Art Adventure 828 with a broken clapper. It's on my list of things to either buy or repair, one or the other. But this is going to be a short broadcast because I'm running out the door shortly when my alarm goes off. Hope my alarm goes off. When it goes off, you know what? Hang on, sorry. After all that, my painting is too low. Bear with me just a minute. Running to the doctor for a checkup before I get too much information. Before I get a colonoscopy in a couple weeks, I want to make sure I am healthy enough to endure general anesthetic, which I'm not worried about a bit. All right, I don't have much time to think here, so I'm just going to keep flying. I'm going to start out with a fairly dead-ish mid-tone purple, which is pretty standard for me in the broken color realm. To start with purple. And it's a fairly muted purple. Not I mean, it looks pretty bright when I put it on a part of the painting that is, you know, not at all purple. But on my palette it's actually quite muted. And one recent development in my, maybe the most recent development in my painting is that I'm calling this layer now, intentionally calling it broken color and pushed color. That is, taking, in some cases, what's already on the canvas and just exaggerating a little bit. I discovered that as I was doing ostensibly broken color, that I found myself frequently saying, ooh, that'd be a good place for, you know, in this case, purple. So I've actually changed the name of this layer. Now, I don't know that I will do this painting, but I am to the point now that, generally speaking, I really do prefer adding another glaze on top of the broken color. So we'll see. Don't know if I will do that on this painting or not. I am fairly happy with the painting. Let me zoom in as much as I can. I'm trying not to paint out of the corners too much. So again, for anybody new that's watching, broken color means equal value to what's already on the painting, but a different color. And not only different, but in many cases opposite. So I have purple on my brush right now, and I just added some white to it, by the way. So now it's about a number 4 value on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, or 0 being white, 10 being black. It's about a number 4, so a little bit on the light side. And because it's purple, I am especially looking for places on the painting that are currently yellow. And of course, that in this case, that includes much of the sky here. Because the purple, the pale lavender purple on top of yellow really sets up a delightful vibration. A literal vibration we've talked about quite a bit before. A literal vibration that takes place in your brain. So we actually do literally experience a sense of twinkle or vibration with this little trick. All right, that's enough of that. I'm going to move right along. Without cleaning my brushes, I'm just going to dip them into ultramarine. And because I had purple on my brush, so now the color of my brushes is a purple-ish blue. I think I'd have to go back and watch my videos of the last year or two. I think the doing a separate and distinct broken color layer, which as I said is now broken and pushed color, doing a distinct dedicated broken color layer I've been doing for somewhere between a year, maybe a year and a half. So it hasn't been very long. I still feel like a novice at this. I still look forward to maturing and improving in my understanding of the broken color trick. I'm going to switch right now and add some phthalo blue to the blue that was already here. So now I've got about a number 6 value. It's considerably darker than it was a minute ago, and a little bit more of a cool blue. So once again, if I'm being really consistent, I would be looking for dark brown, orange brown bits on the painting. Sometimes for me it actually helps to literally say that out loud, dark orange brown, because then that focuses my attention, helps me from my mind from wandering, just start slapping colors around. Now what I'm doing right here is I'm pushing color. So there was some dark bits on this building up here that were a dark neutral tone, dark black, B-L-E-C-K, but I have just pushed the color. Does that make sense? So that was not broken color per se. I was putting on top of something that already tended toward blue a little bit, but I pushed it. And that's become, again, a very important distinction, a very important additional tool in my toolbox. All right, I'm not going to stay long. I'm going to add some Viridian green. But I didn't clean my brushes, so what's on my brushes now is a definite bluish green. Nah, more like a greenish blue. And it's quite dark. It got darker again. I'm going to begin by pushing color. So I'm looking stuff that already has just a touch of that, I don't know what to call it, dark aqua, dark bluish green in it, and I'm pushing it a little bit. You know what I mean by pushing the color, right? Making it more intense, chroma, more intense than what it is. And I would be looking for broken color. I'd be looking for dark, brownish red. So that's what I'm looking for right now, because I have dark green on my brushes. Am I making sense? I'm going straight across the color wheel then. If what's on my brushes is dark green, then I want to put it on top of places that are dark red, and in this case, dark brownish red. And that's all I see. No, hang on. There's more place for. Okay, I'm going to wipe off these brushes really quickly. Hello, Heather. Oh yeah, I could get in trouble with copyright for singing a song. Heather, thank you for asking if it's Paris. That's a great inside joke for the rest of you. That's right, nobody's asked me that in a while. So I'm going to pick up some pure light intense yellow, add it to this green. So now I have, well, I can show you, I have a very intense spring green. Now frankly, between you and me, I can't imagine, maybe because I'm a wimp, maybe because I'm a color wimp, my true colors are coming out. I can't imagine really putting that anywhere on this painting. But I'm going to try anyway. I am a color wimp, by the way. Those are my true colors. I'm a color wimp. That's my true colors. I could push color a little bit. There's a little bit that's, if there's any place that already has a slight hint of green, can I? Now we can always use a bright green like this, chartreuse, spring green, whatever color, very bright, yellowish green. We can always use it as a substitute for white or light. So that helps a little bit. That means I don't have to just put this on reddish stuff. Anything that looks bright, I can substitute bright green, because this is a color that comes forward toward you aggressively and feels lighter than it actually is. I'm going to actually go back in between. I'm going back in the other direction. Usually I go right around the color wheel, but I just backed up a little bit and went back toward a bluish green or aqua, and adding a little white to that. More blue. I want a nice intense aqua or turquoise here. There we go. This is getting pretty close, and that's partly because I'm just playing games with myself. I am a color wimp, and one of the colors that I steadfastly avoid is aqua or turquoise. Once I discovered that I steadfastly avoid this color, then I've made it a point to steadfastly use it. We've talked about that in the past. I don't expect you necessarily to follow that logic, but the fact that I sort of, quote unquote, don't like certain colors, I recognize that impulse as a weakness. So because of that, I force myself to use the colors that are against my normal intuition, which is what I'm doing right now. All right, that's enough of that. I'm getting cold feet for sure. Plus, I really need to move along. Okay, so I did spring green. Really, the next place to go from there is yellow. So a cool yellow or straight up or intense yellow. This is another color that I don't like, quote unquote. That is cad yellow light, and I never use cad, so it would be cad yellow hue. Like, this is a color that I do not use, and pretty much this, of all the colors I don't like, this may be at the top of the list. So that's part of the reason why I'm using it. And again, when I say I don't like it, I don't mean that the smart artsy side of me doesn't like it. What I mean is the immature dumb side of me doesn't like it. A little bit like a chef saying, I don't really like garlic. It's just, well, maybe you don't, but everybody else on the planet does. I don't think, featuring a menu that never uses garlic, seems to me is not likely to be a great winner. So that's the way I'm treating my aversion to, in this case, yellow. It's like, well, that's pretty dumb. So let's use some yellow. I have seen some people use it effectively. Now, part of the reason I don't like it, I think, is I've seen way too many people use it ineffectively. They use a cool yellow when they should be using a warm one, and that has increased my prejudice against this wonderful color. It exists. That's why it's wonderful. And it's like at the foundation of near the foundation of my philosophy of painting, that everything that exists is good. If it exists, it's good. Things that are bad because of their lack of authentic. They're lacking in something. That's as philosophical as I want to go at the moment. So if you wonder what in the world I'm talking about, I'm just going to leave you wondering, okay? I don't want to pursue that. Don't have the energy. Don't have the time at the moment. All right, that's enough of that, though. Let's too much of a bad thing. I'm now warming my yellow up quite a bit, adding Indian yellow, adding orange, and because my brushes are dirty and still have green in them, that's making, which helps a little bit. That's making my orange a little bit dirty. Good. So that's good. Dirty orange is a lot easier to handle. But I don't like it. Sorry, hang on. I just mixed it up, I'll stand by not liking that. It was kind of a sickly pea soup yellow. I'm sure it would be perfect in the right context, but all right, if I really want to be consistent, then what I should be looking for, it's kind of an orange yellow, I should be looking for purple blue. One of the questions I've answered before, because there's very little purple on this painting except the purple that I put down as a broken color or pushed color a little while ago. So the question is, can I put broken color on top of broken color? And the answer is absolutely yes. Certainly. So theoretically, I could just keep going around and around and around the color wheel, right? Adding more and more broken color as we go. Yep, that would be legal. I'm not going to do it, but it would be legal. Pushing color right there. Pushing color again. Broken color. I'm pretty careful in this broken color stage not to get too dotty. So a lot of the strokes, pushing color here, a lot of the strokes that I put down, I will put them down and then smear them. All right, I'm going to keep right on going. So now adding Scarlet Lake to that. And again, I'm telling you the colors not so that you take notes or anything like that, just out of curiosity. So I'm making up a red-orange, a fairly intense red-orange, which means I'm looking for things that are green. The first things that pops into my attention is the broken color green that I just put down a few minutes ago. But it's also a nice orange for pushing color, so don't mind doing that either. That was a bold stroke, but I think I like it. I do particularly enjoy doing broken color on bare trees, well, on foliage as well, and in trees that are in leaf, green, burgundy, dark red and orange are for me big favorites. Broken color in foliage. Push color here a little bit. Every stroke we make as artists, we're taking in a sense, a wild guess. Some guesses wilder than others, but we're thinking, I think it will look good if I put this color, this mark here, and then we try it, and sometimes you go, ooh, yeah, that was a good mark, that was a good decision, and other times you go, that was, and a good painting is one where we make more good choices than bad ones. All right, that's enough. I'm going to continue right around now, pick up some very intense red, naphthol crimson, a dark, cool red. I'm going to add a little bit of white to that. So I've got a very intense red, and very often this red is really a favorite of mine. Whether I'm using it as broken color or pushed color. So far at the moment I'm just pushing color, really not breaking it. And it's about a number right in the middle, mid-tone 5 value. like that mark so much, but I'm not mad at it. I'm just going to move it around, okay? If you ignore the temptation to get mad at your quote-unquote mistakes. You know, that does not put you in a good place for painting. Don't get and when you're mad, then you tend to like erase. As I say, usually the spirit of eraser comes on you. It's not a good thinking, not a good place from which to paint. So, yeah, when you do a mark, when you make a mark that you're not crazy about, don't get mad at it. Okay, use it gently. Wow, that's a bold stroke too, and I like it, but I think it's just a little bit much over here with all these other things. So there, that's all right now. That's pushing color there, right there. It's not broken color. It's broken if I'm putting it on something that's approximately the same value, but a different color, is ideally a very different color, like in this case, a green. I have quite a bit of green up here, so I feel free to put some red messes in there. All right, have I gotten, yep, I've gotten all the way around the color wheel. Right, I started with purple, then went around the opposite direction. I'm going to pick up a little bit more violet, permanent rose, and whites. I have a very dark color in my brushes now. It's a dark plum, burgundy, maroon. I think it'd be the best. I'm just see if there's any place very similar to red that I've been doing, of course, but just darker and duller. So let's look for anything that just is asking for either broken or more color. Whew, I'm always a little nervous that I've overdone the broken color. I really am. I keep going back to my advisor friends. I ask them frequently, did I overdo it? So far, the word has always been, no, we like it. I'm not sure it's always met with quite that much enthusiasm, but yeah, close. Close to that much enthusiasm. So. All right, I am done with that is to say, I'm done with the broken and pushed color. Now, it may be done with the whole painting. Well, okay, let me tell you if I'm not, what would I do next? The answer would be tomorrow, I would do a final glaze. Again, same process as always. I would look at the painting, put my hand on my chin and say, I like it pretty much. I just wish it was more blank, and the blank is a color, okay? Red, yellow, blue, green, orange, whatever. And then, of course, a glaze lets me do that. And one of the things I do like about doing a glaze on top of broken color, and again, this probably because I'm a color wimp. I really am. I'm a timid soul when it comes to color. I hope you don't feel that way when you look at one of my paintings. Indeed, most people compliment me on my colors, but that's all because I've learned how to cope with being a color wimp. But I do like doing a unifying glaze over the broken colors, and it just tamps them down ever so slightly, unifies the palette. The painting the term is called palette, a little bit. Anyway, if I do that, that's what I'll do. Glaze, And then the final layer would be sparkle. Let me, since I have just a few minutes, I think my alarm hasn't gone off yet. Let me show you, like for instance, what is sparkle. There's a real obvious place for you. Sparkle is any place where I want to apply just that last touch of lightness. You know, if you watch me often, you hear me talk about in the opaque realm, in the world of opaque painting, we like to see light paint. Let me say it this way. We like to see lighter paint on top of light paint, right? And that's what the sparkle layer is just one last lightest hit, and some of that done with a palette knife. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up right there. I don't know if, on the other hand, I could just sign this painting and call it done. It's a commission. I think I've accomplished what my client would want, but I'm going to keep it till probably till tomorrow, and decide if I want to do another glaze. As you know, I'm always in favor of one more glaze. And in fact, if this painting is so close to finished that I could glaze it and then lift out with a rag and be done, but it's likely that I would glaze and then do some sparkle and then be done. All right, any other chats I absolutely need to read? Let me look and see. Thanks for watching again today, folks. Hello, Marco. Yeah, Kermit Green, that's good. Heather, I need to develop your love for that color. Cobalt teal blue and cobalt turquoise. I've seen those. Is it ever okay to sign the back instead of the front? No. You may sign the back also. I have done that a couple times with a Sharpie marker, but always paint the front. All right. Yeah, we finally have gorgeous weather here in North Carolina again today. It's supposed to get up to 70. It's a nice change. All right. Thanks, folks, for your company. And running off to the doctor. And maybe I'll broadcast again today. We will all find out together. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.